So tell me a little bit. I've gone through your application, so I kind of understand what you're up to with your dairy farm, and you've got your product in different retail outlets. Share with me, what is that main, I guess, target or issue that you want to tackle today?
Okay. I'll just take a step back and tell you, the only reason I found out about you is I have a brother that lives in Bali, and I had just been to see Tony Robbins, and he was fantastic. It was great. And then I wanted my husband to come and get involved and join in with that, and to get that same excitement level that I had for this. And then TJ was telling me about your family, and I thought,
TJ's your brother.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Fantastic. The whole family are amazing. And like a personal endorsement's always, pretty good.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
he's doing some stuff with us with some podcasting too. I'm excited. He's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so that's how I found out about you, Rhonda. Okay. And I just wanted to briefly, because there wasn't much area there to tell you about the story of what. Okay, so yes, we've got a cheese factory and a dairy farm. Okay. We started 20 years ago, and it was a dairy farmer builder, wood turner, and I was I had retail, a little bit of uni, hadn't finished, working here and there, so I'd always worked with people, so I had a people background. Yeah. And then he wanted to dairy farm, so I'm like, okay, so we started a dairy farm, and then I had one child, he had 3, and then we had another 2 together, so we had this big collective group of personalities as well. And then I won a cheese making scholarship, because I was making it home in the kitchen at the farm. So it kind of started that whole, just so you understand where we're coming from, because when we try and
it's really important. And just so you're aware, some people come with just like, I've got objectives, so I go right for the instant objective, and then wherever you want to guide works for me. So it's good.
Well, I do, but I don't. Okay. I just want to tease out and say, well, okay, how can Rhonda, the Unstoppable Family, because I love the name too, how can that help? And maybe even the marketing angle, and I'm not sure if you just do marketing, there could be other development things that could be better for Nick and I to come and attend something in Bali. So I don't know, like down the track, something like that. But anyway, so we started making in the kitchen, won the scholarship. It's sent me around Australia, and that was all technical, and Europe was all placement, and there was actually placement in Australia as well. Then we bought a little cheese factory that turned over about 160K, and then obviously with confidentiality and all those things in our conversations. And then we ended up buying we're in a historic village here, like a little National Trust town.
Where are you?
We bought a factory. So what we did is we put all of our plant and equipment into that, and then we bought the little cheese brand that we bought, which is Club Cheese, which is basically bringing in cheddar, maturing it, reprocessing it, and then labelling it and selling it and weaving a wonderful story around that. So we bought that product to Tilba, and then we started bottling our own milk. So we had to learn how to sell into the milk industry, how to sell like it was, and then we had to learn from managing 1 staff member to 20 staff members, and then our business just went bang, and we almost fell over because we grew to about $2 million turnover in the first year, and that was a massive change from about 160. I mean, the farm turned over more, but it just ticks along. It doesn't change so much. A dairy farm's fairly constant. So when we had massive growth, it was like this. The cash requirement almost swallowed us to the top of the wave, if you understand what I'm saying. So yes, we're making money.
Inventory, working capital.
Working capital was a concept I didn't really understand. I have a much better understanding now, but it was back then. This is 6 years ago. So we've now grown. We kept it where we were, and I thought, okay, what I want to do is I want it to be all about building the processes within this business here, the people management, because it's all about the people. And then so our whole marketing thing was a very grassroots campaign where we did farmers markets. We have a strong local identity because I've been in Bermagui forever, and Nick was born and bred in Tilba, our farm's right on the road. So it grew in notoriety. I'm not sure if you know Australia very well down this neck of the woods, which is south of Sydney. So we're about 5.5 hours south. So it's not a very heavily populated area, but it's very high transient, like from a tourist point of view. So lots of tourists come to this area, and a lot of them come from Canberra.
Which is good when you get unique products like yours as well.
Absolutely. It's what disposable income, and you want to be, but we can move our product around as well. So we do the farmers markets in Canberra once a week, and we have very strong following there. And we also sell a lot into Canberra. We sell from down to Eden, which is about an hour and a half away, up to about Ulladulla Nowra, which is about 4 hours, and then over to Canberra, which is 3. So we have a fairly, what we've done. So we're sitting now, Rhonda, is we've just done a plant upgrade. So we've just invested another plant to make sure that because we were pushing the seams of what we were doing anyway. So to make sure that we can grow if we have to, or if we can. We want to grow, of course. That's why we're doing what we're doing. But then I think because we've been very lucky, like Woolworths have come to us, all of our business has come to us knocking on our door. And we're at the point now where I need to consolidate marketing, because I think that honeymoon has diminished a little. And I need to go chase it. So, which is what brings me to you. So it's very easy in a business because I'm stuck operational. And I know you can't grow when you're stuck operational, but there's always a give and take to say, well, is it my own controlling, or is it actually that I still feel like I need to be there to make sure it's all doing what I want it to do? So I want to grow it, and I want to grow it enough so I can have a gun general manager. I've got a couple of managers on site here already. Then I can actually develop other product on the side. Is what I want to do.
Yeah, so that you're able to move yourself and actually be a CEO, step out of it, see it, and create. And because I would think, and let me ask you a couple questions based on that. I would think that a lot of your growth happened also because of you're in the front and you're the part of the story, and they loved it. Yeah. And then once you move out, that's where the honeymoon really wears off, because you're no longer there. Right? We all experience that. I mean, I have a branding program for 12 weeks that my coaches run, right? So if I'm not there, it's not always the same, right? So then when we have that adjustment, that shift, you have to just be on top of where that's at. All right, so you're looking to be able to scale, yet still be able to create. So what would be holding you back then from, is it scaling, or is it just replacing you and having more of an organizational structure that allows you to?
Probably more about, I'll always come back to the self, where I probably actually need more structure around my own role about what I do here, because it's loose, because I'm a
like
problem.
Standard operating procedures.
Yeah. So basically what's holding me back is I don't have the skills to market. I'm not a marketer. I can't present myself, or I don't know how to present myself like you. Like you're very sharp. You come across, and I'm just like coming to work, and so it's the transition on myself as well, from a worker to being a representative of the business, actually. And is that part of how you look? I don't know, maybe, probably. But then how do I don't know, Ron. So I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's a great process, because I get where you're coming from. I see where you're at, because you either need to transition from how do we get more eyeballs and more traffic to wanting what you have, so it doesn't require you, and then how do you then transition to being able to be a representative and talking about your product, delivering a message, sharing what your company does, that also drives traffic or new products.
Absolutely, yes, it is. And I was having a look at your marketing information, and it would seem that a lot, correct me please if I'm wrong, but it would seem like a lot of it is about businesses that have the potential to upscale. Now, our limitation is that we're dealing with a raw food product. So if we're looking at strategy, then we need to be looking at different markets. So I'm trying to open up to maybe export as well, to say, well, okay, let's export into a much higher margin. Not milk, let's just do cheese. Right. So instead of limiting ourselves to say, like, how can I drive more out of our very regional area, or do we expand into Sydney, or are we still stuck with the limitation of people seeing dairy as a baseless commodity in Australia? Am I better off to look at like spreading the risk by bringing in some? So we think about upscaling, think about growing. I look at where the potential for growth is in this business. One would be diversity of product, which if I had time, I want to work on a ferment range, or is that really narrow too, really niche? Or do we look at a flavoured milk? Do we look at, I don't know, like, I'm not sure if that's your forte to do business development like that.
Well, I certainly can give you advice on, how when we look at market strategies, it's not always just the product. It's what's the market, who wants it, and where do we put our product there, right? So we can look strategically at cost analysis and, of course, margins. So if you're, for instance, if you're bringing dairy heavily into Bali, not going to go so well, right? I mean, certainly people buy milk, but they don't buy it at a higher price. And most people right now are using almond alternatives, coconut, right? So there's different wherever your region is.
Yeah.
Right. So I would assume even if there's some market research that we've done, you could do, or you've done, that you would know who and where is milk products, where's the buying power at? Is Sydney going alternative? I think that's a big.
China seems like really that's, if we look at the demographic, we look at disposable income, we look at what having high class Australian dairy represents to them. It's beyond health, it's beyond the food, it's about the status, so that would be where I would think, yeah.
I mean, you look at, but then you are looking at imports. You're looking at, how well does the product hold in that type of a travel and, importing. I mean, there's always a factor. So even when we look at big margins in other markets and country, it's where is that cost going to either grow or get higher, get lower. Like, typically it's so I think more importantly, if we got down to really what the heart is of what you want to do, if it's scale or removing yourself, you could easily either repackage or become creative with what you currently have, just a relook and design and grow that current market. We always look at our best customers are those that love us, right? So we keep them more of what they want, but maybe we do a little slight upgrade. I'll give you an example. Do you remember Pantene? It's still around, the hair. Pantene, there was a big case study that was done. I think it was like back in the early 90s. They wanted to reformulate, and they were putting in that Pro V10. I don't know if you remember this. I remember it. And by the time they got to the launch, all the bottling had been redone, but they didn't get this new, component in the product. So everything's ready, and they go, you know what? Let's just put it out there, and we're just going to ditch the Pro 10, and then within the next month or 60 days, we'll just get rid of those bottles, and we'll just stay with the same product. No one will notice. Let's just do it. So sure enough, they throw it out there. Same product. Nothing had changed. They were in the exact same distribution channels. And sure enough, people are going in fighting for the Pro V10. And the month after they decided to pull it off, people were so livid. They're writing, they're emailing, they're coming in, they're yelling at the stores. And nothing had changed. So they literally instantly, they just put the bottling back and changed the smell. So that's a really great case study. And they doubled sales in the first 90 days than they had in the whole year just because of that new enhancement. So in that, I'm sure can work, and it works in most industries, even the placebo effect, right? It just works. So that, that's always a first start. Every time I'm talking to someone that's thinking of totally developing, changing, is it profitability that you're looking to grow? Are you looking to
yes and no. It's not just about profitability. I mean, that's important, of course, but I think
brand
that's
awareness.
Part of the story.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, like when I look at overall concepts with especially companies like yours, like what more can we give our people? Then how do we tell the story a little bit differently so that they just totally fall in love with you, and it's not even about you or your product at all. It's literally the story. We do really well with film. In fact, film is right now, especially videos and film, it's like owning the hearts of social. Facebook right now in your local regions, it's really easy to market to those people now.
I just had a study done, so, and it's really good. I had a young local fellow do it, and one of kids went to school with one of our kids, and it really tells the story. So it's interesting then if so like I can see a lot of yours was about digital platform. Is that right? Am I making that assumption correctly? That's your business is based mainly?
It is. Mainly it is, just because 7.6 billion people are in the world and 4.6 of them are on social. So we take companies on social, right? We bring, whether it means extension of the brand or the marketing side of it, and especially the leverage of Facebook using things like more automation, so that when people are interested in what you're doing, they get instant information from you without even being in the store, right?
That's what I need help with, Rhonda.
And they're able to order. Like, do you guys have an online store?
No, because the challenge here is sending dairy through the mail.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where the import costs and all that problem is at.
Like, we have a retail outlet here that is a very healthy business. So that would be the market I'd be targeting. Like, people coming into the store, they're coming to Tilbury anyway. The thing is, you can bring them into a town that's got 40 other shops. It's not just the cheese. I mean, cheese factory is a massive draw because you can come and watch the process and come. But how do I make a digital presence?
Well, and that's actually quite easy. That's the easiest part. It's getting people's awareness of your product and where it is. And it's just getting really fun and creative with, like, say you have your story, you run, let's say, an ad on, let's say, Facebook, because that's really where people are like consuming. And you target them specifically. They're either in your area, coming into your area, they're traveling in your area, they love cheese, they love, right? So give them the awareness of the factory, but then the ad says, see us in, Riley's, or here, special stuff there. And then it's just driving traffic. And you then create a relationship for either you and that retail outlet where you're like, look, let's collaborate on marketing, because I want to be known as the luxury selection of choice in your, in your outlet. So do you have a special section that's even branded, even you, where you have the labeling is very obvious, and maybe you have a line of products that are just yours in their outlet? Because if you did that, the marketing the marketing that you would do then would be obvious, right? But it's just tying that connection to getting them there. And when they walk in, it's like, oh, I definitely need to buy this.
Okay,
so marketing.
Okay, to build a strategic media plan, is that something that you could help with? Is that something you do?
It depends on what your needs are, right? It depends really on what specifically you want. Is it done for you? Do you want to, learn? Like,
probably learn. I think that it'd be good. Like, I've got so many staff here. Surely we can find someone, or my daughter was doing some of social media, but I think she's kind of fallen over with it a bit.
Yeah, that's what I really recommend the most. Is we're moving towards more empowerment of our clients, because again, social transitions so much. And if you have someone that you're working with, like we have our marketing strategists that work with our clients, but they teach along the way. So it's a monthly program. It's actually, my partner is in Perth, Australia. And it's a weekly program where they're teaching you social media, Facebook ads, scaling, how to target. Because if you already have the assets, like a film, you already have the branded assets you need. It's just strategically writing an ad properly, headlines, targeting properly, and just knowing how to do it. Because once you have that skill, you're self-sufficient, or you don't need anyone. If you have staff that can take on a very small part of your marketing, you'd be able to get more brand awareness at a very low cost, because you are so specific. It would cost too much for us to do the work for you.
And I think also learning the skill as well. Like, I'm a lady in this life, a milk lady, but who knows what I'm going to do in 5 years' time? I may want to do something completely different. And if you've learnt the skill,
exactly.
I'm much
and that's why, I work a lot with, especially women like you that own big businesses, or either CEOs or executives, professionals, but they're in it. And they've grown it big enough to where they're like, I really don't need to be here. Companies working fine. I need an identity. So we help keep that business structured, get the people in place to do it properly, and then we begin building and development of your own personal brand, where either you've got enough knowledge because you've built a great business that you can either educate more women, or you write a book, or you start branding you so that you are now walking on your own structure of a brand that's you.
That's what I want, because actually one of my things I've always wanted to do was, because I found it really hard to start in a male-dominated industry. The dairy industry was like, the women were there, but they were very meek and mild and behind their husband, and I wasn't really much like that. So I've got not just dairy women at all, but it made me think, wouldn't it be great to be able to help young women starting business? I mean, 100%. So yeah, there's a lot of knowledge there now, and you know how you don't even know what you know until you actually sit down and start thinking, well, what have we achieved? Oh my, okay. Wow. Achieved, baby.
And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, I have a girl, she is, Brian, where's Haley at? Do you remember? She was doing the same. Her name's Haley. She in New Zealand? Yeah. She started growing saffron. She's a grower. Ziggy, it's not on the top of my head right now. Ziggy something with an O. Anyway, she created this. She started growing saffron. She's quite young girl, in her early 30s, and she learned how to just rapidly grow really amazing saffron. I don't know much about it, but now she's being asked to teach growers. She's got her own program. We branded her, and now she teaches them what she does for her horticulture, like the type of growing that she does. And it was something that she had no idea until she did a little small workshop and invited local and said, look, I'm looking, I want local growers come in, women, regional women that want to learn my process. And all of a sudden she had no idea how much she knew. And now she has a program that she teaches workshops, and then she licenses what she does, her processes. So there's a lot of growth that comes from our knowledge. We just typically don't productize ourselves, package it up, right? And then we rebrand ourselves.
It comes back to, like I said, I went to see Unleash the Power Within, which was amazing. So many people. It was amazing. It was really good. And that's why there was the other thing that, I mean, I can see that, yes, I'd love to do them depending on cost and how it rolls out, marketing strategy ourselves. That'd be great. But I'm also interested in what you offer in terms of personal development as well.
Okay, so what we do, so for the marketing side of it, you would work directly with all of our brand our brand strategists, our brand team. It would be out of the Perth office, Your Social Voice. And we have what's called the Centurion program, which is $2,000 a month. And you literally work every week. You've got a private membership, private group, constant email access at any time, and live calls where they teach step by step exactly how to not only learn your own Facebook marketing, set up your own messenger bots, etc., things such as that. But literally the overall structure, you are working with someone monthly, and it's just a monthly program, and you get as much access as you need. Sometimes once you learn, you don't need as much, but you pop into the group, or they pop in and say, hey, this ad is not converting, or what's a new idea. And so it's a great program. Most all of our clients, they learn so much, and after the first 6 months, they usually go on their own, but they stick around just for the connection. I work in. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to ask you: is that for a set time period, or is that like a month and drop out when you feel like you've got enough knowledge?
Exactly. It's monthly. Most of everyone sticks around for 3 to 6 months, and then they they'll pop in and out because you can learn so much in those first 3 to 6 months. And whenever it's my personal clients that we're working together with, I'll do strategy sessions once a month as well, just to see where you're at, to get you back on track again, just depending on what's going on. So I'll personally do that as well. And my partner Kim Barrett, who is the CEO of Your Social Voice, he's our partner. He also is works within the program. So that would be the marketing side, the done with you Centurion program that we call it. Now, on my side, when I'm working with my clients, I have a 6-month coaching program where I'm working on the idea, concept, and development of a new and personal brand, all the way into the launch and development creation of a product. And that is a complete done with you and for you. meaning I work with you on the idea, and my team helps develop all of the branding, all of the designs, things like sales funnels, membership sites, all of the framework that you need to create an online, let's say if it's a course or licensing program, things such as that. So that's a complete done for you program. And that's 6 months, and it's, no shorter. It's, it can be longer, but it's a 6-month program. And that is with the done for you, that's $15K. And we work every other week together. I do about 4 private calls with you, one-on-ones like this, once a month in the first couple months, just to make sure you're really on track. And then every other week we work in a group with about 4 to 5 different entrepreneurs that are on a similar development track, right? And so there's a lot of really different things that come through, because also what I teach you is everything that you need to understand on the digital marketing side. So that means, from not only the development of your brand and, let's say, your message, how to communicate what it is, how you do it. We work on your scripting, like how you present yourself as a owner or in a networking situation. Then we develop a brand, a personal branded identity. My whole design team creates all the design work.
Sorry to interrupt. I hope you don't mind me asking questions. Brand identity of product or of self?
Well,
are you talking about personal brand?
Let me give you an idea of how I work. In order for me to help someone build or develop a product, they have to have the umbrella, right? And I don't have my slides here with me because I didn't know we'd go this direction, but it's the branded umbrella. So we work on the umbrella first, which is you, right? It's got to be you. If it's a company, we know right now, there's a lot of stats that I've got. 72% of people are like, I don't even want to talk to a company or a logo. I want a person. Whether it's the personal brand or it's the employee, whatever that might be. So it's showing us a lot when it comes to how we grow businesses. That's why Branson, Tim Ferriss, all these guys are in front of their company because that's where they're growing. So we work on the development of that umbrella, which is you. And then after that, under that umbrella are products. They're licensing programs. They're workshops. They're all these books. They're all these things under your personal branded umbrella that is in congruence with what your personal branded values are. And so we work on it's a complete development of who you are, how you want to be, how you want to be presented. What is the languaging? How do you present yourself? Is it, what's the personality of this brand, right? Where are we going with it? And then from there, we concept, okay, this is what I can really do and serve. So let's create a program around that. Or let's write a book around that. Let's do an ebook, right? So an ebook that's a lead magnet, online lead magnet, meaning you get the email, right? And you communicate to them that way. And we've got a whole back end process for that on the digital side. Mm-hmm. It's a lot, but people that have never worked in the digital side, it's like, whoa. But as we go through it, it's such a step-by-step foundation that it makes complete sense. And our team sets it all and does it for you, so that you're understanding it and utilizing the assets opposed to developing them, because that takes years. If you were to say that you had like a grander vision for you, then let's say as a personal brand that's still in the company but steps out in front, is there any bigger visions that you have? Like you mentioned, women entrepreneurs, or helping them understand what you know.
Yeah, there are, but like everything, Rhonda, it requires great capital investment. What I'd like to do, we've got a magnificent farm. It is just stunning. So we wanted to create an educational area. So I've always wanted to do like a women's retreat area, an educational area where people can come. You can either have cheese making courses, ferment courses, yoga courses. We've got where you'd set the dairy up as well. You could have school groups coming there. They could actually do farm. We'll just see, okay, how does farming work? So it was hopefully going to turn into like a place of education, basically. So it's all about feeding yourself. But where does food come from? The integrity of food. Growing your own food, taking back.
Well, that's such a big movement now anyways, and I want you to know something. It doesn't take anything to do that. It doesn't take any capital. It takes just your knowledge, and it takes a little promotion.
Yeah.
And it starts with 20 people or 10. It's like, come learn, and you maybe bring them there, for a free education, and then you sell them a program.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like probably one of the oldest and the best ways to develop things.
Yeah. Develop the program first, obviously. Otherwise
Yeah. We call it build the plane while we fly it. That's how I explain it to my clients. I'm like, don't do anything yet. Let's get in the plane and start building it as we start to fly. And
because
it works.
So sometimes the biggest limitation is like, okay, so you got a little idea. And I know that these ideas, they gain momentum as you're going along as well. Like I think for me, there has to be some spiritualism woven in there as well. And why did I bring that up? I just think it's important. Like, otherwise it's just crash and burn capitalism. It's not
100%.
like we're
That's exactly right.
Community, not just about, so, and this is the confidence in your own ideas as well, I think. Like, because
for
sometimes,
sure, and it's purpose. It always comes down to purpose, right? And you left Tony Robbins' event. You'd ask, what are the mindset piece? What part do you have? Everything we do and we weave into business is all about the mindset, because really that's the only thing that drives it. We can learn the strategies and we can learn the day-to-day, but in reality, if we're not totally clear between here, we're off. And we have a specialist in our that in our programs that works on. She's an NLP expert, peak performance expert, and she helps define. It's very similar to Tony, but it's on a more personal level, right? Okay, what is it? Where's the blocks? And let's just clear it. And so we do a lot of that in our, for instance, I have an event coming up in December in Bali here, and it is a structured branding event where we do branding films and we do marketing, and our partners come.
I think that's what I was looking at on your
and that's where we really get down to the mindset. It's like, okay, and it's funny, everyone comes there for the business side of it, but in reality, everyone leaves with the bigger mindset, and then everything shifts, right? And then the idea is,
I think you need that, is because if you look at even in my situation here, we've got the farm where Nick wasn't happy with the farm was being how it was being run, so he's doing all the milking. I'm just going like, well, here you are stuck there. You're this great, amazing worker and entrepreneur and whatnot, and you're milking cows, which is not a bad thing to be doing, but you're limiting yourself by that. And I'm coming here and I'm getting caught up in managing people too much, so I'm not, because I'm getting caught. And one thing that I is really good to learn with Tony Robbins is you become the people you spend time with. And I've developed this 9-to-5 mentality that I've never had in my life. So to expand the purpose, the idea, the thought, that is pivotal, I think.
Well, that makes sense. You know who Dr. DeMartini is? Dr. John DeMartini?
I'm gonna write it down.
Absolutely love him. He's more than incredible. He wrote the book. What is it? Value Factor.
Okay.
Yeah. It was in the movie The Secret. He is my daughter's mentor, and she has a meeting with him actually in an hour and a half or 2 hours, and world known. And he talks a lot about these high values and low values, right?
Yeah.
If we plot them on, what are our highest values, the things that we do that produce, not only put us in our highest level of zone, but put us in that space of creativity. And of course, there's low values. And we start to measure them out, how we plan our day and what we do with our day, and we start weighing down low value. We just start doing low value thinking. We become low value thought. Our security start to go down, our fear base comes up, and then we're just doing grunt work. So it's about that shift, right? How do we replace low value with someone else so we can higher value to make more money? Like, that's just the reality of it, right? You love his book. Everything that we teach and do is the foundation behind the things that he teaches. That's why my daughter at 11 has got her own fashion studio and her own boutique. And she's got her own.
I thought, oh my God, how amazing.
Yeah,
for a young lady. Very good. Yeah. Very switched.
But it's, again, that's the things that we just teach, and it's natural to us. And so when we're working with those that you find yourself in that stuck point, and a lot of us do it, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, it's time to get me out of there, get me thinking in a different space. So then then you start firing. You're like amazed that this stuff that comes at you because you're out of that space. So that's a lot of the stuff we do.
That's a workshop in Bali, and I think I saw it was booked out anyway. Wasn't it fully sold out?
It's different because I just hired a resort. So we're staying here in Canggu, and I rented the whole place. So it was booked out just for all of my filming. Initially, I brought in another filmmaker and hired the whole place. So we do have spots available. I just now,
because I went and stayed there to visit TJ. We took all the family over there. It was nice.
Yeah, we are right here in Canggu, right off Prairie Nan. The Hacienda is a gorgeous resort. We rented the whole lot, and it's from December 6th to the 10th, and it's a complete. We do include the branding, films, photo shoots, everything for personal brands. We have the larger package for that. We have some that are just coming to stay to get not only the personal development training, but the marketing training as well. We do complete 2-day mastermind. And of course, you're able to stay the whole time. It's all inclusive. And they just don't get the film or a photo shoot, or you get one or the other. So we've got a couple different packages based on needs. And then we have several that are staying offsite, and they're just coming, and joining us for each of the days and being part of the mastermind.
And what's the different cost structures, Rhonda?
Yeah, I can actually just pull up the page. I forgot I can share my screen. We just moved into a new villa yesterday. Thank goodness. We had been evacuated actually from the rain or from the earthquake.
Oh.
And so we had been evacuated since August 6th.
Oh, really?
It's been crazy.
Lucky in paradise.
It's been crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's the things you deal with, right? You make sure this film starts. Yeah, I mean, that's, we're not in the States anymore, and we're happy for that. Okay, so let me give you a breakdown here. Yeah, this is all the structure of the event. I just completed one in Orlando, so it could be some information about Orlando still on here, because we just left Orlando. There you go. That was our Bali event there. And it's really amazing. Okay, so here's the breakdown. This is everything was about being sexy. So we are at our, the sexiest includes everything. It's 4 nights, 5-day, all-inclusive food, branding, film, and photo shoot. That's in one of the main suites. The sexier option is includes a photo shoot, and either 2 people with just attending the event, or 1 person that includes the photo shoot and along with the mastermind. And then the other one.
Yep.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go, Jill. Sorry.
Yeah. And the other is there's a twin room that's shared. It's a 2-bed suite, and it's just for the mastermind. And we do photo shoots for that one as well. And that's, again, all inclusive. Just include the film. And then we have others that are coming just for the 2-day mastermind. They're staying off-site, and that ticket is $1,500. And so it's all-inclusive food throughout the day. It's just for the mastermind days, which are the first 2 days. And then you stay off-site.
Do you think because I've told you what our background is a bit, that the branding would be important for us?
Well, no, I'd love to see the film that was already created for you. I'd love to see that.
For you and show you?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay.
If you can either flick it to me in the messenger and I can watch it after, or you can do it here if you're.
I see if I can find it.
Yeah, if you have a streamed link. It's interesting. A lot of people do come to us for film, even after they've created a lot of film. And it comes down to the scripting and the objective of it. Is it just telling a nice story, or is it moving people into taking an action?
Just telling a nice story.
So there's a little difference. It's like a good website. It's something that people can feel good. But how we move our films is objectives. It's like, what do you want to do with this film? Like, it's got to be marketable. And then, of course, that's where our team, you're able to market it, and we teach how to use ads based on the things that we teach. So we've got a different outlook on film, usually. In fact, you know what?
Sorry. I was going to say, if we were going to do that, so my objective would to be bring in people to the places where we're making the highest margin, which would be our own retail outlet or farmers markets. So if we're in Bali doing a photo shoot, how do we drag them into a farmers market or into our retail outlet if we don't have footage of it?
Well, this is the thing. I have a team all over the world, right? I have film teams all over the world. my in-house team is here in Bali. So we would film, we call it B-roll. So we line up what's called your storyboard. What is the story you're looking to tell? What's the objective we're looking to create, right? Where's the movement, call to action? And we film you here. We film the interview. We're talking direct to camera. We create a lot of different scenes. And then you either have one of our filmmakers go to Australia to film the rest of what you're doing, or we take footage of what you already have. If you already have film, typically we can grab and add in your content that shows your farm, that shows what you're doing, right?
Because we
just
drive here.
Yeah. We're just real specific about the quality of film. So it just depends on who, does it. Yeah. But usually, if you're a decent filmmaker with a decent camera, you can usually get really good what's called B-roll, not your front face roll, the B-roll. And then we tie the story together. Photo shoots are so vitally important as well when it comes to just the positioning of what you do. It's how well to look on websites. Like we have an incredible web development team that creates websites that are built for conversion as well. And
onto tablet, phone, or is that what you mean by conversion? Tablet, phone. I'm not. Look, my background is now mechanics within a cheese making factory. I tell you how to fix problems and managing people, not digital. Like I know next to nothing. I mean, I can run a computer, obviously, I run a business, but I have not invested into the social sphere at all. Can I ask one thing? Because I think December's, unfortunately, I'm just looking at those dates. I don't think that's going to work. When would you hold your next one? Next year?
Yeah, we do. So next year, our schedule is we're in the States in the first half of the year, and then we'll have another Bali event in either September or October. Same date. So Bali events is always the exact time. Well, because I go back to the US.
It's a nice place to come to. I don't know. I think I'd rather come to Bali than the States. Although I'm sure the States are beautiful as well.
Yeah, but it is better here. It's just a different vibe.
Great vibe.
We have the event, but we have clients that will come and they stay and they just come and work with me at my office, or they go to our studio, and then we do. Our filmmakers are here, so there's a lot of stuff that we can always do because my home base is here. And so the events are different because it's community, it's people. There's a lot more involved.
Yeah, I think and also great because we're the biggest business for miles around in this, and so you don't get a chance to communicate with other people that are going through the same experience as you. So if you connect with other entrepreneurs that are going through the same, growth challenges or what process issues or whatever it might be, then I think that's invaluable.
Well, it just creates such a difference. Like we just had our event in Orlando, and we had 27 ladies and a couple gentlemen, and it's like, wow, even the collaborations and what was taking place with them. You can't create that; it just happens. And so I think that's the most exciting part for me is when we create. That's why I do these events, so I can bring more people together, and then of course create a bigger result. So. But that's, any person that is either becomes a client in any of our programs, you always get first option to join. That's why everyone's like, it's always sold out, because all of my clients take over those spots. And then I end up expanding and say, okay, I do have some open public spots, which is, kind of where we are right now. But that would always be something that you'd, be privy to.
Okay.
Like if you decided to join, let's say, the Centurion program for marketing, and you wanted once a month to have a meeting with me, great. If you decided to join my longer term coaching program, then then obviously that's an obvious option that you would know about it because you'd know first. It just depends on what you're looking
And I'm not sure if you've covered it. I apologise if you have already, but the long term development program, I think that that is probably of interest to me as well. Yes, I think workshops would be great. I think marketing would be fantastic too, but obviously I have to think about time and money and those sort of things. But skill development program, what do you do in that?
The 6 month that I was sharing with you?
That is it, right? Okay, so that's the digital.
That's right. Me. Well, no, I was looking actually for that. Lars, could you please do me a favor, babe, and just provide me the information page? It's not pulling up on my system. So the 6 month is we work together in development. Some of my clients they know exactly what they want to do, and we help develop it. Others, I don't know what I want to do. So I want to work with you, but I don't need to develop any assets. And so we either have that 15K program that's pure development, or I have a 10K program where I'm working privately with someone every other week for 3 full months. And then we add on that additional 5K and the next 3 months for product development.
Yeah.
That tends to be, I only take 4 of those clients a year because we're working privately. So you become a private client. We work every 2 weeks, and we work on the development, right, of what you're looking to do or create. We do some branding things like logo design and things such as that. We do some subtle stuff to get the basics going. And then once someone's like, now I know what I want to do, then we transition into the additional 3 months, and then that's where we develop. Thank you, Mercy. So I'm going to pull up this link that she just shared with both of us, and then I'll show you. Yeah. So this is our programs, and I'll show you here. And I'll give you this. You'll be able to look at this. This shares what I just was talking with you about. It doesn't include the custom program. So this is the bigger. This is now similar to the event, but this is the complete 6 month, which includes an event. It includes coaching, includes everything done for you. This is the 6 month mentorship with no event and no marketing.
Have you ever thought of yourself as the world's best kept secret?
Chases me all the time.
Oh, actually, I think I may have watched it. I remember your dress.
Yeah, you may have seen it. And I can give you this one as well. But this is, another part of the development programs. Yep. So the bigger one includes marketing for 2 months, and it includes an event, all-inclusive event. This one includes no event, no marketing, 6 months done for you. And then the 10K is the custom, which is not on here because these are the programs. The 8 week is a coaching program with my 3 coaches, and that's a 12-week program as well. And we teach you how to develop assets and funnels and sales funnels. And I give you a personal development product that we've created that you can create and turn it into your own if you want to have your own product. So it's a really cool digital development of your own personal brand into, but I'm not in there. I'm in there a couple calls, but my coaches run it. Yeah. But you do get my course, which my course is from start to finish brand development all the way into creating a program or a product. Yeah. We have lots of options. It just depends on what it is that you're ready to do right now.
I think that for where we're sitting right now, where we are, we've got a great brand. Spoken to you about the challenges of separating myself operationally to actually develop, and that's probably a bit of personal development there to let go of the control factor. That when we grow something from the ground up, we tend to want to control it a bit. But I think that the brand strategy for the marketing through your Perth lady would be probably a good starting point, and then just see how that went. So I'll talk to my husband / business partner as well, because you still have to be prepared to do the work. Now, I've had a mentor. I've had 2, and I connect more with, I think I connect more with the female energy than the male. So I had an older man who was a mentor, and that was very good from a functional, very left brain pattern or very angle to say, well, okay, what's going wrong in this business? What do we need to get sorted out? So yes, we need to get our MyOld better so we can pull out better reporting statistics. And let's look at the cost of production. Let's look at how the functionality of how things work. So it was great from that, but it really didn't address what I would have assumed mentoring was, which was actually about developing the self. What do I need? What makes me tick? What's
where's my highest values at? What do I stand for? And that's really important. And like for instance, with the Centurion, the marketing side of it, that's really focused on that, right? It's focused on the marketing side. And then what we can do, depending on your needs, is do a combination. Then is where You're in, you have someone that's learning that. And then we do, say, every other week, we do have a private consultation. We run it based on a monthly, right, where we're working together, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly. And then you go through it. That's why the 10K program is either 10K up front or it's $3,500 per month. So then we're working together on a growth pace. And I combine that with the Centurion program. If somebody's doing both, we do combine that. And, you know, we create, you know, a win-win for both the client and both us, so that if you say, okay, I want to work in the Centurion to learn marketing, but I want to work with you, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, right? We adjust the price based on, if it's weekly, it's $5K for both. If it's bi-weekly, then we do a $3,500 for the both, where it's just a bi-weekly call, just like this, twice every other week, right? We meet up, and then you're in the other program.
The other thing I found too, Rhonda, is I also had a spiritual midwife. She was, so that was all about developing as well. And so, like, I've done these quite expensive things in the past, but I'm really talking the last 12 months, that it became a drag to do the phone call. Because
really?
I know, it's me, it's not them. It was me, because it was like, was I organising myself properly? And then it was like, oh,
yeah, I know those. I know those feelings. You get too heavy and you feel like you're behind and you're lost.
Up in the operation. So I really need to, like, maybe things like you've told me about Dr. D. Martini. Fantastic.
Yes.
You can do processes that you can do to actually liberate yourself, because one of the things that really caught me about you is when I first watched your family, not just yourself, is that I assume it's your husband with a surfboard overlooking Bali. Now, what do we all want? We want freedom to spend time with our families. That's what we want. My family's all, they're like 16, 17, 19, up to 26. But I need time now for my own
journey.
46, first time my own personal development, saying, well, what do I want out of life? Like, you've just busted your ass for 20 years to build this business that's doing well. You know, could do so much better. But am I going to be able to do it justice by staying in it and working in these constraints when I can't see the bigger picture? So if I take on another mentor, I want someone that's going to have to challenge me in a way that, challenge me to do what I should be, not what I should be doing, what I need to be doing to achieve the goals I want to achieve. And then the first thing you say, what are your goals? That's a good question. What are my goals? To be affluent, of course, but to be a community member, absolutely. To stick to your value system. So that's what I'm probably really looking for, is someone to help me with my own development, but also how to grow this business so I can step aside a bit more and to make sure that it's all.
That's exactly the power that we take. I mean, I mainly do work with women, and the first thing we do is you write a big T and you say, what do I want to do every day? What do I not want to do every day? Just get really clear on that. Just very clear on that. And then you look at your list and you're like, am I serving that list? And if I'm not, you just check it. It's easy. It shouldn't be difficult to get clear and focused. It's having strategies on how to do it. And I get ourselves next step, and then just taking away one thing, not adding it. Yeah. Because we're looking to get light. We're not looking to add.
And that's what you've summed it up, because I certainly don't feel light. I feel like I feel like everything's speeding up faster and faster. It's like we've had things that have gone wrong this week, and then it's like happens in business, and so
how do you manage it? You know, where's the focus go? How do you point it into the right direction that it gets done? That it's not just you.
Am I going home and drinking wine because I can't handle the stress?
Well, that's okay. Sometimes. Drinking wine is okay.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's right. So, look, so one of the things when I first signed up, because I was looking at your thing because TJ had told me about it, and I was all pumped up because I've just come back from seeing Tony Robbins, and it was you said in the original thing that if you felt like you could help me, we would sit down at the end of the conversation and say, yes, I can help you, no, I can't. Well, I think, so, I mean, it's hard after an hour to say, well, can you help me? What are our financial constraints, time constraints, those type of things.
Right.
Do we get a copy of this recording so I can
100%. Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Play it to
Full
my husband, because
transparency.
it's important as my business partner. Look, and we've been through, like everyone who's been married for 20 years, we've been through everything, and business and kids, and but we've had a come together at a really good place with kids are older, and I want to, if we're not involved in it together, because we have grown business together and we do it well together, I think it's really important we're both on the same page. So if I could show him what we've discussed and I say to him, look, I'd love to go to Bali. How about we start with branding development, and and I'd love to do the 15K personal development package, but I'm mindful that I've already thrown probably close to
100%, and that's the kind of awareness that you want to have. It's like taking, I never take money from people unless I'm like, look, this is what you need, and this is what I can do. And if I can't do it for you, I'm not going to do it, because it's also, I have to be involved and engaged in wanting to, right? Because this is time that I could be spending with my daughter at her studio, right? So I only take calls, people, and work with them like, okay, this is where I think you want to be, but where should you be right now? So the way I'm seeing it is, it looks like you 100% want to learn and have a bit more empowerment on the marketing side. And whether that's someone else doing it, that's just the knowledge base that you need. We all either need spirit or we need knowledge. Like I'm a Gemini, so I run on both sides. I either read Deepak Chopra and then I go hard on the business side. Type of book.
I'm a Capricorn, but I probably do the same thing.
Because we have our own, we have to be fulfilled in that power state. I'm a businesswoman, but then I really want to feel fulfilled. So the way I look at it is, I think that, having the marketing side, great. I think that also, so you don't feel weighed down, having a more of a freedom type of program that you could work with me on I would prefer to have it structured. Otherwise you may not show up. Right. And so and I like to keep a schedule.
I'm busy. I know I won't. Like, even to have this today. Thank God you sent a reminder. It's on my calendar, but I've been running around like a hairy goat. So, Rhonda, today. Oh my God, close the door. I'm in a meeting for an hour. It's like,
well, right. And that happens. And I believe that structure gives us freedom. And so if we're structured on the things that we're doing, then it does give us freedom, because your day starts with, okay, this is what I have going on today. So I feel this morning, and then I know where I need to be. And so I would say doing something like that, and not weekly. Then you're a busy lady.
No.
Whether it's once a month or once every other month. We could do calls just like this. I charge for these initial ones. They're $500 for the first start, and then if somebody just says I need a la carte, right? And each month that we meet, then we decide on typically I charge about $1,000 per hour, and we usually go 90 minutes usually. So if we did something that's in combination based on your budget, you want to do the marketing side and you wanted to work with me, I think that doing the 3,500 kind of package would give you calls every other week and allows you to be in a marketing program. That would be probably the best fit. Otherwise, you could just book calls like this whenever my schedule opens. But that doesn't keep you on point. It doesn't keep us in a pattern moving forward. Right? Does that make sense? So I don't typically like to do that with clients, because then we start over every time. And it's not good for them, and it's a waste of their money. But that's really where I kind of see where we're going. I think you should talk with your husband, show him this film, let him know where you are. I do suggest, we can do one or both. If you want the marketing side, let's put you in the Centurion program. Otherwise, we can start, working together on a bi-weekly basis. We just kind of keep things ticking. And typically after these calls, when we really get into what it is you really believe in, what are your values, what do I want to do every day, then we start cleaning out the clutter. It's like, we do clean the clutter challenge, where you're like, just getting rid of the stuff that is just not serving you, and you just don't do it anymore. We structure it there.
Okay.
So from that, does that sound like something you're looking for?
Like a good starting point. I think for me, I think that it is about I think the marketing is super important, because we have plateaued a bit as a business. So we're stuck at that turnover, like we said. And I know that we have a great product. We win awards all the time. I know that it's a very unique product as well.
Yeah.
I know it can do
in front of the most people. Typically what happens, most people think that that's all they need, and always ends up being the development side. So I think it's perfect. I think it's exactly right, because we have to start, and then you're like, whoa, then you realize the power that you have when you learn how to market for yourself. I mean, that becomes very empowering, right?
Yeah.
And then that becomes easy, because in the beginning you feel like you need it because it seems hard, it's technical, and you have to figure it out. Then it's really quite simple. And then we shift heavily into, now let's grow on that side. So I think it's perfect.
That'd be really interesting. So probably start, like, I might say, let's take the next 6 months to, we won't worry about personal development. At that point, we'll just tag marketing. We've got Christmas coming. It's our peak trading period. It's just insane. So for the next, let's say, December, Jan, Feb is really, really busy. And then I would like to maybe look at coming over in October to Bali.
Next year.
Yeah.
We already are, taking, reservations and people that are, already secured the spot. So
Rhonda, I can't not go. If I book it and pay for it, I can't not go.
That's right.
And that would be excellent. And I get to see TJ and Jess, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, Jess was just over 2 days ago.
Oh, nice.
Just over 2 days ago, and I actually was just speaking with TJ yesterday, because he's setting up a podcast back-end program for myself and my clients. So
see, there's things like that and think of podcast. I could do podcasts of cheese making, like fermented foods are one of my biggest
niches that love these type of topics, and you can speak to people in your industry. I'm an authority,
and I don't want to get caught up in fermented foods. They're great at home. Yes, I like to grow my own veggies and do all of that myself, but I don't want to get caught up in you can't make money out of that. There's that limiting mindset. What's that limiting mindset? What is that? That's bizarre.
It's something in your past that kept you from believing it. There's someone that told you, or something in your family's past.
Do it. I've got a food approved area here. Just stop talking about it. Do it and see how it goes. Right. So things like that. And they could do it all on podcasts, and then you could actually build a profile like that, which would be great.
And what do you have to lose? And that's the thing. That's why I was talking to TJ while we're setting this up, because they said, look, most people won't start it because they just don't know how to do it. So we have to give them standard operating procedures. Do this, just send me the audio, and then we do the rest. Yeah. And he's like, let me set that up. So, because that's what keeps us. We just don't do it because it's hard. We can't think about it.
Where to start. I want to get a good camera. I'm not that good. How do I do that? How do I edit? How do I, all of those
audio recordings. Everyone makes it tough. I mean, even I started mine, and then I pulled back because I do a lot of live on Facebook. And I started to do more lives. I'm like, I need to go back to podcast, because people just want to listen. They want to travel. They want to do their thing. They want to hear what you have to say.
Like I do as well. Like I listen all the time to people while I'm sitting here working, or whack a podcast.
Right. And for people that are not as wanting to be on film, or they're not comfortable with it, podcasts, you find yourself in your own heaven.
I'm not that uncomfortable on film, but do you come across how you think you come across? So there was I wonder if you know what I mean by that, because when, we've had, have you got to wrap up soon? No, sorry.
Yeah, I have to hop off,
Yep, now? Right now?
Yeah, my daughter has a call with her mentor in 4 minutes. So I'm gonna...
Okay, well, we'll wrap it up. And what I'll do is, will your assistant send me the recording, or have I got it through the Zoom?
Yeah. Next step, exactly. Next step, what will happen, Larcy will, she'll download this and put it onto YouTube. So that we have
okay. Well, thanks for taking the time. I think it was really worthwhile. Thank you. We'll have a chat and then think about it. And then I will email you, I suppose, or jump on your website or something.
Yeah, what Larcy will do is she'll send that over to you, and then we'll send a follow-up. She'll send you that information page as well, and then some of the options that might serve you the best. And then we can follow up in 2 days on, where you'd like to go, and so we can get final questions handled for you, and then get some things to move forward.
Thank you very much, Rhonda. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure, my lovely. Cheers. I look forward to talking with you.
Thank you.
All right, bye. Thanks, Larcy.
Thanks, Larcy.
Hey, Erica. What would be the best way to contact you? Is it through Messenger or through email?
Email's good. I can give you my email address. Is Erica, ERICA, tilbarealdairy.com. Oh, do you want me to put it? I'll put it in the group chat. Should I?
Yeah, please do so. Thank you. Because I've been sending you messages through email. I think it was on the different email address.
No, that was
you receive them?
I did read this morning because I'd forgotten that I'd made the booking for today.
Okay.
That was very handy, Lassie. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. And how about Facebook Messenger? Are you receiving those messages too, or no?
Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Did you say? Let me have a look.
Yeah, it was just this morning when I was reminding you of the session.
No.
Nope. I could be using a different profile, so if you can.
If you just go Erica Dibden, if you would send it, like if I gave you my mobile number, will that send it to the messenger, or you need Facebook?
I'm not sure. Let me just check if I could pull up your profile in here.
I say I'm not that good at social media.
Okay. All right. I'll be sending you definitely the copies through your through your email. But I'm just wanting to, because Rhonda is really big in Facebook messages. So
yeah, look, I have Messenger on my phone. Like I get Messenger messages, so I could send you a message request through my Facebook.
I've also sent you a friend request. So
wonderful. Okay.
Maybe
I'll just take it from my phone to Erica Dibden.
Yep. There you go. I sent you a message. Let me know if you got it.
Just got it on my phone, on my computer. Lassie Martinez.
Yep. Okay.
There we go. Wait a minute. Oh, man.